G'day and welcome to another episode of My Blue Heaven. I am in the middle of Melbourne town, the city, and what brings me here today, I'm actually looking for a hairdresser. Yes, I am looking for a hairdresser. No, not for me. Not for me. As you can see, I do not need a hairdresser, but I'm actually looking for Kinky's Hair Salon. Kinky's Hair Salon. I repeat, I'm looking for Rene Kinks hair salon that he ran when he was playing at Collingwood, then Essendon in the early 1980s. I don't believe Rene Kinks still has that hair salon, which was called Kinky's. Now, the reason why, this is really strange, isn't it? That a middle-aged man would be heading into the city to find a hairdresser which no longer exists. But the reason why is because of this VHS tape that I've had for 40 odd years, Panasonic. I recorded in 1983, that was the season that was, hosted by the great Peter Turn on a Threepenny Bit Landy. Now, Channel 7, after the finish of the season, after the grand final, they used to have this show running. That was the season it was. I don't know when it finished up, maybe the late 90s, maybe a little bit before that, I'm not quite sure. But in 1983, I recorded this, and I reckon in my youth, as a football nutty, I reckon I watched this 1983. That was a season that was possibly 100 times. So everything that's on this tape is just etched in my memory, and it wasn't that long ago that I was on YouTube, and that was the season it was, from 1983, popped up, and I thought I'd watch it again. And one thing that was always stuck in my mind was Rene Kinks sacking from Collingwood in 1983, and Sandy Roberts going to his hair salon and interviewing a very, very candid Rene Kink out the front of his hair salon, when footballers back then had full-time jobs outside of them playing. And I always wondered where his hairdressing salon was. So today, I'm in search of Kinky's Hair Salon. All right, so let me just fill you in on Rene Kink. Now, this is a Carlton channel, obviously, and why am I talking about a Collingwood, Essendon and St Kilda player? But let's be honest, he was an absolute giant of the game, Rene Kink, the Incredible Hulk, starred in Bruce Beresford's 1980 film The Club as Tank O'Donoghue. Spent 10 years at the Pies, and then got sacked midway through the 1983 season after playing 9 odd games, and ended up finishing the year at Essendon. Played in a losing grand final at the Bombers in 1983, but I loved him. I loved Rene Kink, and 16 years old he was, the youngest ever player to play in a VFL final. The prelim final of 1973. It was his 4th game as a 16-year-old, and he kicked 3 goals against the Tigers. And I'm desperate to find Kinky's Hair Salon. Rene Kink, eh? Can I find it?
The players fly, knocked away. Thompson has the run. Thompson pushes it in front of him. He's in the pocket, into the goal square, and goes. Here's the young kid, Rene Kink. A strong mark taken by Kink. 16-year-old lad playing his first full game. What a day to come in. You can see the angle he's on, and it's an acute one. He kicks and he's put it through. 8.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Okay, not much luck. I've been walking around the city now for an hour and a half looking for Kinky's hair salon. No luck so far, which is a bit of a worry. Feels like I've been sent on a wild goose chase here. I was told that Kinky's hair salon was in the city region, and I've searched down every street, guys, and just can't find it. So I've just started asking some people. It is very busy here in the city at the moment. It is lunchtime, and I reckon I've spoken to about 50 odd people about whether they know where Kinky's hair salon is. And finally I struck some gold. Look, I reckon she'd be about maybe 65 years old. She told me that she got her hair permed by Renee Kink at Kinky's hair salon in 1984. So she's pointed me in the direction of the Victoria Market, and off I go. Very, very excited. As I make the trek up Swanston Street to hopefully the destination of Kinky's hair salon, apparently across the road from the Vic Market, it just occurred to me that I actually got to know Renee Kink for a short period of time in 2002, because he was one of the coaching candidates for the Channel 7 reality TV show The Club, which followed the fortunes and misfortunes of the football team, the Hammerheads, which I was a part of. And yeah, unfortunately Renee didn't get the nod. That went to David Rees-Jones, which was great to be coached by a former Carlton Premiership player and true champion of the game, Norm Smith medalist in 1987. Danny Southern, the snake charmer, he was the other candidate as the coach, and Jenny Ball, the mum of Luke Ball, the former Collingwood and St Kilda star. She was the other candidate, but Renee was such a ripping fella, Renee Kink. He was a great fella. I can't believe though that it's not that I got to know him really well, but I can't believe that I didn't ask him where Kinky's hair salon was then, and it would have just saved me all these problems, just trying to find if this place still exists.
Renee Kink has also had a go at coaching.
Beautiful, Rox. If I do take over, I'm going to punish him. All right?
It's a tough job, and Renee is great at telling everyone how he's going to do it.
And my criteria as a coach, I will not pick players who do not move.
Okay, I'm not that far away from Victoria Street and the Vic Market, and the reason why I'm going there is to find Kinky's salon. Okay, but 1983, that was the season. That was an episode run by Channel 7. They used to do it on a yearly basis. I taped it as a footy nuffy teenager. I taped it on my VHS tape, and I watched it over and over and over and over again. Okay, and I've still got that VHS tape. I've still got it. But the actual episode came up on YouTube recently, and I watched it, and there was Renee Kink sacking midway through the 1983 season, and it happened right out the front of his hair salon in Victoria Street, just across the road from the Vic Market, apparently. And the man the reporter that went to interview him after he'd been sacked was Sandy Roberts.
After 11 years, Collingwood parted company with one of its most popular players, and Sandy Roberts filed this report on the sacking.
This was Renee Kink on the eve of his first league game, the 1973 preliminary final, which Collingwood lost to Richmond by 7 points. 11 years and 154 games on, Kink is on the open market. The enigmatic Kink, at the moment, is not enthusiastic about playing league football again this season. He intends to bide his time, listen to what other clubs have to offer, and then make a decision.
Yesterday afternoon, Sandy, I was called down to the football club at about 4 p.m. to discuss something or other. I knew it wasn't a ham sandwich, so I was called in and they said that my services were no longer required.
What was your immediate feeling? Was it relief or bitterness towards the club? What was it?
Look, there was no bitterness or animosity because I've been here a long time, 11 years. It was a bit of a relief, to be perfectly honest, because after 11 years, maybe I needed a change.
I spoke to you at the start of the year about getting up for a game, and we were talking then how difficult it was, and obviously it's still just as hard.
Well, it is hard some weeks. Any player can tell you that. It's hard to get up some weeks to play at your 100% maximum. Yeah, it is hard.
And finally, mate, do you think Collingwood at the moment has the players to get them into the finals this year, honestly?
Well, their fate is in their own hands now. I can't say. I've left the club. They are a very good club and they've got some very good players there, and I wish them all the best.
I didn't realise that Rene Kink had played in 5 losing grand finals. Never won a grand final. So what was it? Let's work it out. 77, 79, 80, 81, and 83. Is that 5? I think that's 5 losing grand finals. And 77 obviously was the replay against North Melbourne. That's an incredible misfortune for Rene Kink. How good's this? I'm at the Victoria Market searching for Kinky's hair salon. God, this is bringing back some memories. I can't remember coming here. A good 30 odd years. The last time I would have been here was when Mum used to drag us here as kids or teenagers to buy some V-neck pastel coloured jumpers or a pair of tight stonewashed Fabergé jeans, and this is familiar smell about the Victoria Market. I'm getting somewhat sidetracked as I make my way to the donut van, and I hope that's still here, but I will get back to my mission shortly, and that is to find Kinky's hair salon. Okay, I might be going a little bit crazy and senile, but I'm 110% sure that the famous Victorian Market donut van was situated along here somewhere, and I just can't find it. Okay, rightio, I'm in the fruit and veggie section of the Vic Market. Now, some of these stall holders here have been here for 50 to 60 years, they told me. Now, understandably, not any of them wanted to get on camera and speak. But I did ask whether they knew Rene Kink and who he was, and whether Kinky's hair salon was close to the Victoria Market, and they said yes, it is. Apparently, it's still here. So I am about 100 metres away from finally finding Kinky's hair salon. Okay, had a great chat to just out the front of the Central Club here. Had a great chat to Frankie, who's at his fruit and veg stall here in the Victoria Market for, I think he said since 1971, which is 2 years before Rene Kink made his debut. Bought a kilo of beautiful oranges off him, probably healthier than the donuts, which I couldn't find the donut truck. Now he told me, Frankie, my mate Frankie, has told me that 260 Victoria Street was Rene Kink's hair salon, and I am walking up to it now. It's actually quite emotional to think that I'm finally going to see Rene's hair salon and go in there and maybe shake Rene's hand. Oh, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. Oh my God. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's not here. So, Kinky's Hair Salon now is a Korean charcoal barbecue chicken restaurant. And this is the shop, guys. This is the shop where Rene Kink got sacked 40 years ago as a Collingwood player. This is where he would have been interviewed, right here. Right in this spot here with the archway. Okay, the arch. With Sandy Roberts interviewing him, asking him a number of different questions. Right here, guys. No longer.
To discuss something or other, I knew it wasn't a ham sandwich. So,
Look, I knew I wasn't coming down for a ham sandwich.
look, there was no bitterness or animosity because I've been here a long time, 11 years. It was a bit of a relief, to be perfectly honest, because after 11 years, maybe I needed a change.
Look, there's no animosity or ill feeling. I mean, I've been at the club for a long time. Maybe it was time for a change.
Well, their fate is in their own hands now. I can't say. I've left the club. They are a very good club and they've got some very good players there, and I wish them all the...
Look, it's hard for me to say. I'm no longer at the club. I mean, they're a great club and they've got some great players, and I wish them all the best. Unfortunately, my day comes to an end. I found the shop, but I didn't find Kinky's Hair Saloon. I certainly didn't find Rene Kink. It's gone, guys. But you know what? I've got my orange. I'm Ed Frankie. And I've got my 1983. That was the season it was, tape right here. So I'm going to go home and relive those memories. If you like these videos, please give a thumbs up. And please subscribe to this channel. Speak soon.